So welcome back, you guys. This is part 3 of my eyeshadow collection, and this is dedicated to my Makeup Revolution palettes. This is the last draw of eyeshadow palettes that I have, and the reason why I've got loads of Revolution eyeshadow palettes is because I am a Revolution hoarder. I have been buying the brand ever since they launched, and I'm also on their PR list for a year, so I have been gifted a lot of these Revolution palettes and I enjoy them. I've actually decluttered a lot of them, given it to friends and family, done reviews on some, and passed them on to loved ones. So this set are the ones that I really want to use, or I'm using and I'm loving. But this is the collection that I want to keep. I still have a couple of things I purchased from the website which are due to be delivered soon, so it's probably going to grow desperately over the next couple of weeks. I've got loads of space in this drawer, but I'm just showing you guys how I keep them. I am going to change tactics today because the drawer is a bit low, so I'm going to be showing them in batches on my vanity table. If you haven't seen episode 1 and 2, definitely check the description box below. I know I got up to 180 something palettes, so let's see how many this comes up to. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Again, just like I said in part 2, it's not a bragging video. I just hope that you guys will be able to ask for specific tutorials, comparison videos, or if you're just generally interested in what they look like and what they swatch like. But as always, please leave all your comments or questions in the comment box below, and let's get right into the video. So right, I'm going to start off with these palettes. So these are the Color Focus Shadow Palettes by Revolution Pro. Absolutely love Revolution Pro formula. I think it's hands down one of the best drugstore formulas out there. You get extremely good quality products, beautiful packaging for less. So I've always been a fan of the more for less type of approach that they've taken to the brand. So this palette is called, what's this one called? This one is called Rock and Royal Palette, and as you can see, I haven't used this palette yet, but it's absolutely stunning. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4 shadows that are like satin matte shadows. The rest are like shimmer and baked type of eyeshadows. Like this color looks super pretty. Cannot help but swatch it. Yeah, it just gives off that shift, that purple shift that is absolutely stunning. But the palette itself is so pretty. They just remind me of like the baked formula type of eyeshadows, but love the color story of it. The next one is the white palette, and this one is called the Day and Night palette, or the Night and Day palette actually. Night and Day palette. So again, really love the color story of this one. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4 kind of like satin matte shadows. Love that blue and that white. Another iridescent purple, which kind of looks a little bit like the one from the Rock and Royal palette, but slightly different. So this one has more of a purple shift, and this one probably has more of a greener shift to it. But again, the color story is just on point. It's so pretty and I can't wait to use it. I had every intention of doing different looks using all these palettes. I still will. It's just I was only able to use one palette and then had other projects to work on. But yeah, you guys should definitely let me know if you are interested in seeing different looks using these palettes. The next one is the Smoke and Mirror palette. I love this one, maybe because I love blue a lot. So this is the like blue color story. Again, beautiful colors. That color is so pretty. You've got that blue shade. It kind of looks like it's got like specks of glitter in it. It's very, very pretty. You've got white, you've got a couple of satin matte finishes. That dark blue is very, very beautiful. So I'm actually quite excited to use this one. This one looks like a really, really interesting palette to get a gorgeous look from. And then the last one is the one that I've actually used, and this is the Truth or Dare palette. And the look that I created with this palette was just stunning. Like, it was so easy to do, colors were so easy to blend. I will swatch a few more of these because I've actually used this palette, just to show you guys how beautiful this palette is. Like, just that ruby color, oh, it is just so pretty, so pretty. Again, I love the color story. I love the fact that they chucked in like a teal blue color, just for difference. You know, if you wanted to add a color on your waterline, sorry, underneath your waterline, you can do that, or all over your lid. Oh, so pretty. And I definitely like the packaging of all of them. They've all got like kind of like a jean leather type of feel to them, and they've all got their boxes, like a leather feel to them, which makes them really stand out as luxurious palettes. The next one is a collaboration palette by a makeup artist, and this one is called the Ultimate Artist Palette. It is a full face eye type of palette. I haven't used this at all, but it kind of looks like a book. Love the kind of like snake print type of leather vibe going on. And with it, you've got bronzer shades, you've got little highlighter shade, you've got blushes. On this side, you've got eyeshadows, and you've got lipsticks. I haven't opened this one yet because I'm not too sure if I'm actually going to dip into this one. I might do a full face using it, but I think I was keeping it aside just in case if my mom or my sister really wanted it. The only reason is because I'm very skeptical about this bronzer or the powder colors. They're quite off in terms of my skin tone, so I really didn't want to dip into it if I'm only going to use a selection of these shadows. Some of these shadows already exist in other palettes, so it's a really good idea, great for traveling. You know, I've seen a lot of people get tons of use from it because you've got your face products, you've got your blush, you've got your lipsticks. Love the colors, love that coral color, and you've got eyeshadows. But I just haven't used it yet. I'm still on the fence. I'm not too sure if I am going to use it in a look, but you guys should let me know if you actually want me to review this palette. Again, it is a collaboration palette. The next one is the Revolution Pro Regeneration Legendary palette, and this palette is just stunning, absolutely stunning. I love the marble effect that some of these shadows have. You have more mattes than shimmer, I believe. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 matte shades, and it is 24, I want to say, in total. 18. Okay, so you've got more shimmers than mattes. Obviously these ones are like your marble type of shimmer. I'm so reluctant to dip my finger into it, but it will make such beautiful looks. So this one I'm definitely excited to use. Also love the see-through packaging. It just allows you to see the products quite nicely. This one, I think I purchased this one. I think I was gifted one, but then I gave my sister. But this one I purchased because I really like the baked colors. And then the next 4 are the new neutral palettes. Now this one is the first one that I got, and this one is the Luxe Shadow Palette, new neutral Luxe Shadow Palette. This is the one that is the dupe for the Huda Beauty Nude palette. I'll actually bring that palette just so you guys can see how dead on it is, and definitely let me know if you want me to do a side-by-side comparison. But the palette itself, it's very pretty. You've got those beautiful glitter shades that you can clearly see I have dug into. You've got those baked eyeshadows, you've got lovely matte shadows, and that color magic, it's exactly that. It's just magic. So pretty. I'm gonna get the Huda Beauty palette so that you can see how similar they are. So this is the Huda Beauty nude palette on top, and then this is the Revolution Pro palette. The colors are exactly the same with the exception of the like baked marble type of shadows. Everything else is the same. They've even got the base, which is the version for the Huda Beauty concealer. All the matte shades are similar except for this one slightly different. They swapped that out. This color and this color very similar. This one's very similar. This and this is practically the same. I have used both eyeshadows separately, but I've never actually compared them side by side. I do love the Revolution Pro palette. The pigment is off the chain. I love the looks that I created with this palette, and I have used it quite a bit. I also do love the Huda Beauty palette, but it'll be really interesting to do an exact side by side, the same look, using the shadows are exactly similar, just to see which side translates better. But all in all, they look similar in my opinion. So if you're not able to get your hands on the Huda Beauty nude palette, this is definitely one to get. This next one might actually be my favorite color selection, and this is the Smoked palette. And this one has really nice dark smoky colors. That color aroma is so pretty. That brown shade is just stunning. I've used Trigger for an all over lid color, which is gorgeous. It's a glitter, so it sits quite nicely on top of a black shadow, also sits quite nicely on the brown shadow. It's just really pretty. I've used Quill, which is nice. It's got specks of glitter in it. I mean, the color story all over is just absolutely stunning. The pigmentation is on point, and the palette itself is super pretty. They all come with a good size mirror, nice and weighty, and you've got the shade names at the back of the palette as well, which is quite handy. This one is the Blushed palette. This is the Blushed palette. I think in terms of packaging, this one wins the cake. So pretty. I haven't used this one, but this one kind of like has the marble effect that the Huda Beauty nude palette has, and that color Roasted is stunning. That color Gala is stunning. This color as well, the cream color, is pretty. These two are quite similar, just this one is a bit white and this one is more cream. This color is super pretty. Bloom as well is gorgeous. I haven't used this palette, but it's definitely on my list of palettes to use. And then this one is the Passion palette, I want to say. It is. This one is the leopard print one. Yeah, the one that looks like full cheetah print. This one I've used. This one I've used in a review. I've used it in a tutorial. I love the color story of this one as well. You've got some gorgeous like plum, pink, purple type of shades. That glitter is very pretty. I don't think it translated too well when I was trying to use it in the video, but all the same, it is a pretty glitter. Aura is a beautiful matte shade, and Vein is stunning as well. For the most part, I did enjoy this palette. This is the All That Glistens Luxe Shadow Palette. Oh my god, this was the first one I got in this like range. When I got this palette, I was shooketh with the quality. I was shooketh. The quality is so on point. I absolutely love the color story as well. Oh, I've just dug my nail in. Oops. Absolutely love the color story as well. I think the colors are just stunning. They're begging to be swatched. Like, what kind of swatch is that green? Pretty. I've used this one. This one's a bit dry. Tremor, the black. Yeah, it's a bit dusty and dry, but still the pigmentation is there. The colors are beautiful. And I do love the color story. Great for Christmas, great for party wear, great for occasions. Just a really stunning palette. This one is the You Are the Revolution palette. I got this in one of the palettes. I think this was the palette they were handing out when they reached, was it 1 million followers on Instagram? I think it was 1 million. I haven't opened this palette. I haven't used it. It was a gift. When you purchase something, you receive this just to say thank you for being the revolution, or being part of the revolution. I've seen loads of swatches on Instagram. It is a very, very pretty palette. It's not something I am... This might be the first palette I will be decluttering. This is not a palette I will hang on to because I've seen a lot of these shades in other palettes. So I think I'm going to gift this. I think I'm going to gift this to a family member. So that's, I think. I don't know. It is pretty. Let's see. I'm going to put it aside. The thing is, I don't think you can purchase this palette. So I don't know how useful it will be to do a video using this palette if you can't purchase it, but I will check. So I'll put that one aside. So the next one is the Reloaded palette, and oh, this has all of my favorite things all in one palette. You've got greens, the shimmery greens. It looks like an almost all shimmer palette. You've only got one matte shade, that little guy. Everything else is full shimmer. So it's pretty. I love these greens, but that's about it. So yeah, don't know. Again, I'm not sure if I'm going to hang on to this palette because I've got loads of these greens in other Revolution palettes, but let's see. This is not a decluttering video, so I need to be aware of that. This is a palette collection, so maybe I'll do a decluttering video at some point in the future. I don't know, we'll see. Obviously, as I explained in my first video, I do a lot of decluttering quite frequently. So the palettes that I have are the ones that I have decided I'm going to keep for a reason. So yeah, read the label properly. This is the Reloaded Empire palette. This is the Reloaded, yes, I remember why I kept it. I think I wanted to show it off in a video. And then ask you guys to pick which palette to use to create a look. This one is the Euphoria Palette. Love the colors. You've got more matte shades than shimmer in this one. That silver is super pretty. You've got that green, that lime green is stunning as well. Haven't used this palette, but it's so pretty, and I really love these Reloaded palettes because you can see right inside and they're very practical and handy. This one is the Velvet Rose palette, and I think I purchased this one because I've used it in a video and I've used it a couple of times after that. Oh my god, it's so pretty. This to me is your everyday palette. Like, I see some semblance of some of the Huda Beauty shadows, like that one. These browns are stunning. That brown is a gorgeous cool tone transition color. This black is beautiful as well. So let me swatch some of the shimmer shades first. As you can see, oh, they are just absolutely stunning. And I'm going to swatch this brown because I talked about it. It's just a beautiful, like, beautiful transition shade. The palette itself is very practical for everyday wear. So if you're the type of person that you want a no fuss eyeshadow palette that is affordable, definitely check out this one. And this is the Velvet Rose palette. Definitely check out this one. I definitely recommend this. I've used it in a few looks and I absolutely enjoy it. The next two are the foiled palettes. So this one is the Foil Frenzy Fusion, and this one is the Foil Frenzy, which is the one that came out before this. And I've swatched this, actually. I've posted a swatch up on Instagram, and the colors are super pretty. It's a palette you need to apply with your finger. Using a brush isn't going to really pick up the beauty that is the color. You just need to pick it up with your finger and apply it, and it's so pretty. The colors are stunning, would work perfectly well with any matte eyeshadow palette. It is definitely a collaboration palette. The colors are a bit soft. They're just really nice and easy to use. And then this one, so the Foil Frenzy Fusion one has more like earthly tones. You've got some gorgeous browns, coppers, gold. Haven't used this one, I haven't swatched it, but it looks super pretty. Right, so I remember when Revolution started coming out with these eyeshadow palettes and I just started collecting them. Oh my god. This was before I even got on their PR list. So this was the first one I purchased. And this one is the Forever Flawless Palette Optimum. And the palette, the color story alone, the color story of this palette is everything. And I've been so reluctant to use this palette. Because it's so pretty, but it's that type of palette that kind of takes you from day to night time quite nicely. You've got that dark blue shadow called Maximum. You've got this nice shimmery like copper kind of color. Oh, it's just a super pretty palette. This one is the Forever Flawless Ice Palette, and this is the one that I've always said is definitely in comparison with the Jeffree Star Blue Blood palette. I'll actually get that palette and do a comparison just so that you guys can see what I'm talking about. I'm going to dim the lights a little bit as well because I can see that it's washing it out. Right, as you guys can see, the similarities are there. Definitely the colors are in like a different order, but you've got that white shade which kind of matches this one, and you've got that green matte shade which kind of matches this one. Yeah, you've got that dark blue shade which kind of matches this one, except this one has like flecks of glitter in it. You've got that cream shade which kind of matches that one. You've got that shade which matches that one. You've got that light blue which matches that one. So this is a good dupe. If you are not able to pick this up, you can definitely pick this up because there are some shades in there that really match. Like that one is close, or that one is close to this. There's some really good colors that match it. I do have an arm swatch of this palette up on my swatch page if you are interested in what they swatch like, but the palette itself is super pigmented. Just do a few swatches so you can see just off the back. It is a very pigmented palette, so it's definitely worth purchasing if you are after a full blue, kind of like an aquamarine color story. The next one is the Birds of Paradise palette. Yeah, got her. Birds of Paradise palette, and this one is, oh gosh, talk about Rio in a palette. This is like Rio in a palette. Those colors are so bright, they look like neon shades. You've got those pressed glitters. It's just so pretty. I don't know why I haven't actually done a look with this. I feel like I need to do one pretty quickly. As we're gearing up for as we're gearing up for summer, this would be a really pretty summer palette to create this like gorgeous carnival festival type of look. So should hopefully be featuring this on my channel very soon, but it's such a pretty palette. This one I have used a lot on my Instagram. Revolution even reposted me using this palette as well. And this one is the Fire palette. Yeah, this is the Fire palette, and they released it alongside the Ice palette. And this palette, guys, is everything. I used this during, I want to say, summer last year, and the looks I created with this palette is just everything. Like, the palette itself is so pretty. You've got a good range of eyeshadow colors. You've got those all essential kind of transition shades. You've got the pops of color. This red hot color, oh, look at that. Lava, pretty. Do you see? And this one, Beautiful. Swatches beautifully, even blends beautifully. It's just an all-round amazing palette. This one is a showstopper palette. I really love the kind of snake print design on it. Haven't used this one, but it has more like purple type of tones. That color is so pretty. So you've got like your lilac, you've got your purple tones, you've got your shimmer shades, you've got your glitter shades. It is very, very pretty. Hopefully should use it very soon. But this to me speaks like autumn. Gives me autumn vibes. And the last one out of this range is the, what's this one? The Chilled with Cannabis Sativa palette. So this is just the chilled palette. Oh, the greens in this palette is so pretty. That color Haze has been used to filth. It has like this really soft formula. It's so pretty. The green as well. I'm a sucker for green shades anyway, so if a palette has green in it, it's got my attention immediately. And those are the really soft shimmer shades, and that's the green one. Palette swatches effortlessly, it applies effortlessly, and it's just an all-round gorgeous palette. I would say if you can still get your hands on it, definitely do. It just reminds me of like forest, nature type of vibes. Very, very pretty palette. So I featured these two on my YouTube channel quite recently, and this is the shattered, I want to say it's the shattered glass, but it's just the glass collection. And this collection came with 2 eyeshadow palettes, 3 highlighters that they had to pull because Manny MUA put a claim out that the packaging looks exactly like his packaging, so Revolution had to pull the plug on those 3 highlighters. Anyway, I still have the review up on my channel if you're interested. I also did a makeup tutorial, which is one of my favorite makeup tutorials of all time, using these palettes, so definitely check it out if you haven't. I will link it in the description box below. But the palettes themselves are just divine. They're just one of the most pigmented Revolution palettes that I own, and the formula is just stunning. I love the color selection. They are very, very different to each other, but they complement each other quite nicely. So I was able to create one look using shades from both palettes. That brown shade is a beautiful transition color. The silver shades are super stunning, and the blue is stunning. That red is gorgeous. So the black as well is very, very black, very intense, very pretty. Definitely check out the review. I really went into detail about the collection, about the palettes, so check them out. Also love the packaging. It's just one of the things that just puts the icing on the cake for me. Right, I'm not even gonna lie, these next few palettes have not been used. They've just not. And this one is the Revolution, what's this called? The Revolution Illusion palette. This is kind of the reason why I like to keep things in packaging, because it doesn't say it on the actual palette, but it's on the package. So this is the Illusion Glitter and Intense Metallic Finish Shadow Palette. I do have a picture of this up on my swatch page, and this is what it looks like. It's a full shimmer and glitter type of palette. Love the colors. That blue is super intense looking. Love this one as well. This is definitely a complementary palette. You have to use it alongside other shadows. I don't know how it performs yet, and I'm quite reluctant to swatch it, so we move. So the next one is their Precious Stone collection. So I have 3 palettes from the Precious Stone collection. I believe there were 4 or 5 in total of this, but I love the glitter packaging. It isn't rough, it isn't like gritty glitter. It's nice to touch. And then you've got nice size mirror, and then you've got the eyeshadow palette. So this is more like a purple taupe jewel tone type of eyeshadow palette. Love that green, super pretty. Love that one as well. It's like a pressed glitter in it. Haven't used this one yet, This one is the Precious Stone Emerald palette. This is probably just a green. Yeah, green color story. Green has my heart, guys. Like literally, green palettes are the ish. And this is what it looks like. That green as well is super pretty. I do love the color story. It's nice and deep. I love a good transition color in every palette. It's a really, really beautiful color story. I think I could do so many looks with this palette. And then the last of the three is the silver. I wanted to say silver, but it's the diamond one. Diamond palette. Ooh, very mysterious, very smoky, kind of like dark colors, gray as well, very taupey. I don't know how much I feel about this palette. I feel like there will be some shades that are just not gonna get touched at all by me, like they're just way too light, like the platinum. Unless I use it as an all over lid color, can't really do much with it. The jewel tone colors I can do quite a bit with, so we'll see. We shall see. The next three are the color books. So when Revolution posted this on their Instagram, oh my god, the whole Instagram went gaga for it. I know I was one of them that went mad. I definitely know I was one of them that was drooling to get my hands on this. This one is the color book 03. And I love the idea behind it. So you've got two sides and it's split with this glass, well, plastic, that kind of splits both sides. But on this side you've got the matte shades, and then on the other side you've got the shimmer shades of exactly the same shade. So it's ingenious, it's pretty, it's everything. Haven't used it yet, not gonna lie, a little bit intimidated by it, but it's such a beautiful palette. Such a great idea to kind of create those gorgeous ombre type of looks, you know, those color, not ombre, those color gradient type of looks. That's kind of like what I've got in my mind, to do like a yellow into orange into like the darker reds type of look. I'll still do it, definitely, and you can still purchase these from the Revolution website. But this is color book 03. This is color book 04, and this one is more of the like purpley plum shades, if I can. Yeah, this one's more of the purpley pinkish plum shades. Again, you've got shimmers on one side, 24 shimmers on one side, 24 mattes on the other side. Beautiful ombre of colors. You've got darker colors to kind of deepen the crease, and you've got it in shimmers as well. These two don't kind of correlate, but you know, they can't always get it spot on. But basically the idea is there for you to create professional looks, if you like there'll be loads of editorial looks that could come out of using these palettes. I know that this collection also comes with a black and white one, where you've got ranges of white, black, grey colors as well. So I don't have that one. And the last one that I have is the 05, which is my favorite, obviously, because it's got the blues, it's got the greens, mostly like a green story. And this is what it looks like. Isn't it the most beautiful thing you've ever seen? Like the blues blending into the greens, and then on the other side you've got the shimmers. Oh, it's just so intense, so pretty. Out of the three books, you guys should please do me a favor, sound off below which one you want me to do a look with first. I'm kind of gearing towards the bluish green, but I'll leave it to you guys to say. So this is 05, 04, 03. Definitely please comment down below, guys. I really want to know what you want to see from my channel. The next palette is the Patricia Bright Rich in Color palette. this collaboration, she came out with 2 eyeshadow palettes, 3 bronzer palettes, 2 of which I have, so bronzer and blush and highlighter palettes, and I think that's it really. And so I have 1 eyeshadow palette and 2 of the blush and bronzer palettes. And I have used this eyeshadow palette. I've created looks with using this eyeshadow palette, and I absolutely love the color story. That green color is everything. That green, guys, that green color is like a sophisticated green shade. You've got loads of like neutrals to create gorgeous neutral eye look if that's your thing. You've also got loads of colors in there to create nice, beautiful, bright, colorful looks. So I will link the video in the description box below, but I absolutely love this palette. I think she did a really good job with Revolution. The quality is there, the intensity, the payoff is there. Purple is always a difficult shade to get right, and they got it right in this palette. Like, what? Don't let me down, because I used the purple in the look that I created, so it's pretty, very pretty palette. So I will leave the link to the video in the description box below, but I do enjoy this palette. And in case if you're not aware who Patricia Bright is, she is a YouTuber, influencer, Instagrammer, everything. She's a social media personality, so yeah, she is amazing. And then this one is the Revolution Maxi Reloaded eyeshadow palette. I've got swatches of this on my swatch page on Instagram, and it is a beautiful palette as well. You do have really intense colors in there, but you also have a mixture of more pastel-y type of colors, so like that. They're more like pastel tones, really soft, and it's an all matte palette. Like, there is no shimmer whatsoever in this palette. You've got mattes, and you've probably got a few satin mattes in there as well, but it's a really good combination palette. So if you wanted to create an all matte look, you've got all your shades there. You've got really good transition shades, but if you wanted to use it alongside like a full glitter palette or a full shimmer palette, this would be a really good palette to reach into. The quality is really nice as well, and I love the fact that you can see into the palette. Now these two came out together, and these are the Wild Animal palettes, and I do have looks on my Instagram using these palettes. This one is the Integrity palette. I can't remember which one was my favorite out of the two. Can't remember, maybe I like both of them just as equally. But this is the Integrity palette. The colors are very nice. I love the embossing on the shadows. It's like a zebra type of print in the shadows, and you've got a good range, a good balance of matte and shimmer shades. Love the color story. Definitely have to break out of your comfort zone to really play with these shadows or play with these colors, but it is a really enjoyable palette. Also love the packaging, very nice. And the second one is the fierce animal print one. This one, I created a look using it, and I think Revolution actually reposted me on their page. And again, beautiful. This can be used as an everyday eyeshadow palette, honestly. You've got the necessary transition shades there. You've got your shimmer shades for extra shimmer on your lid. You haven't got the dark shade to kind of smoke out any look, so if you're going from day to night time, but I'm sure you've got darker shades in other palettes. But that shade there is stunning. That one, swatch that one for a matte shade. I'm actually just gonna swatch the matte shades, and this is what they look like. Like, the color saturation is absolutely stunning. Again, really love the print on the shadows, and I love the tiger print packaging. Very vivid, very pretty. The next couple of palettes are the collaboration palettes, the ones with Tammy, Soph and Karmic. So Tammy came out with this one first. I have a tutorial, a review up on my channel. I actually did giveaways with her palettes because I really wanted to support her. The palette itself is very, very pretty. I do need to bring it out a bit more because it is really, really well used. As you guys can see, when it first came out, I was really going in deep with this. I've got a couple of looks up on my YouTube channel, not just one. But I love the color story. I love the story behind the shades that she picked. The colors are just absolutely stunning. I love the shade names. It's just a really, really well put together, pretty eyeshadow palette. Very wearable, easy to use for everyday wear, easy to transition from day to night. Love that blue, super stunning. Love this as a transition shade. This is also pretty as a transition shade. Yeah, I really love this one. So this was her first collaboration palette, and then she came out with the, so that was the Tropical Paradise palette. She came out with the Tropical Carnival palette. This one, I think I have a review. I think so. I think I have a review up on my channel of this one. I'm not too sure. I can't remember now. Either that or it's on my Instagram. But I did use this palette quite a lot. I like to keep films and everything. I did use this palette quite a lot. You can see that that greens had a lot of damage done to it. That red as well. I will swatch some of these shades just to show you how intensely pigmented it is. I feel like she definitely improved on the quality with this second collaboration palette. Oh, do you see that beauty? Yes, this is definitely a full tropical festival carnival vibe moment. Love the shimmer shades at the top, and then you've got these two, they're like shimmers. This one's more like a satin matte, but that one's a full-on shimmer. And then you've got these shades as your matte shades, so it's a perfect balance. You've got more than enough colors here to do really, really fun festival carnival looks. And then you can reach into the Tropical Paradise palette if you really need some transition shades. But I think both collaboration palettes are really, really nicely done, and I was more than happy to support her. I actually did a couple of giveaways using this palette as well. I did arm swatches, I did Instagram tutorials, I did Insta story tutorials. I really went in supporting her with this one. The next one is the Soph X Extra Spice Ultra Eyeshadow Palette. This one is by Soph. She is part of the Revolution team as well, same as Tammy and Karmic. So this is the first eyeshadow palette she came out with. I believe this is the first one actually. Or is it this one? No, I think that's the second one. You know what, look, I don't know. But anyway, she came out with this eyeshadow palette. And this one is the Extra Spice eyeshadow palette. Love this palette. I used it a lot. I've got loads of tutorials up on my YouTube using this palette. I love the color story. People love this palette so much that it's got duped, it's got what do you call it, counterfeits, it's got all sorts because the color story is really strong. So that color 21 is a very beautiful pigmented red shade. I've got this one, which is Infinity, very, very pretty. Romance as well, very stunning color. You've got LA Sun, which is super, super pretty. Love that khaki color. I don't know why I didn't use that shade. It looks like between khaki and sweet and sour, those are the only two shades I didn't really dip into, but every other shade has been well loved and used. It is one of my, do I want to say most loved? Probably after the Tammy palettes. This one I definitely took my time to test and use it a lot. Yeah, now that I think of it, I think this one came out first, and then the mirrored packaging came out second. But this is the, is the name of this one. This is just Surf X Palette. Doesn't really have any other name other than Surf X Palette. And yeah, it is, this one's really old. I do need to scrape some of these shadows because yeah, it's really old. I've used this palette a lot. I've done several looks using this palette, but the colors are still there. It's still super pigmented. As you can see, that dual chrome shade is very, very pretty. Like, there's some really, really pretty shades in this palette. But I do think that the formula is beginning to get a bit compromised. But it's still a pretty palette. Still functional. I can't remember when I purchased this palette, but anyway, this is what it looks like. You can still pick it up from the Revolution website, and it is a stunning collaboration palette. And the last one is the Karmic Kiss of Fire eyeshadow palette. Karmic is also an influencer that Revolution works with. He creates content for Revolution as well, and so he came out with a collaboration palette. He does have 2 collaboration palettes with Makeup Revolution, but I've only got the first one. So I purchased this one to support Karmic when it came out. And the highlighter, guys, the highlighter is the most beautiful part of this eyeshadow palette. Like, what? Absolutely stunning. Love the color story. Oops, shouldn't swatch same color. Love the color story as well. Color story is super pretty. The shadows perform really, really nicely. You have good range of matte and shimmer shades. You've got versatility. You've got orange. You've got that like dark brick type of red. You've got a black. The purple is also really, really pretty, and so is the blue. I do love this eyeshadow palette. I didn't use it as much as I should have, but the highlighters definitely did get more use than the eyeshadows. So the next palettes are these cute little donut palettes by Revolution, and this one is the Cherry Pie. I really love how squishy the packaging is, and I love keeping them in their little packaging because it's just so super cute to store. It's so cute. It's just squishy. It's really really satisfying, guys. Honestly, it's like a real donut. The box itself actually shows you what the shades are in the palette, which is quite cool. But this is what the packaging looks like. White base. You've got the squishy feel of a donut at the top. They do all come with a mirror, and this is the color in this one. This is an all shimmer palette. I haven't used this one. It's a nice little travel palette, if you like. You can pop 2 of these in your bag and you're good to go. So this one is all shimmer. Haven't used them. I have used the donut palettes before, and I do know that the quality is very, very nice, and I do appreciate the packaging. I appreciate the thought behind it. I appreciate how fun it is. That's the thing about Revolution. Their makeup's supposed to be fun. It's an experience. You're supposed to enjoy yourself, have a laugh when you're doing makeup. So I do appreciate the color in this one. And the next one is the Custard Fill. It looks like custard, doesn't it? Again, you've got the colors on the side of the palette. It looks like custard, honestly. It looks like custard that's spilling over. Custard donut. It's gonna really hurt my nails, isn't it? There we go. This one too is an all shimmer palette. I'm not gonna lie, I haven't used this palette either. Very pretty colors though. I do like that yellow, stunning, and that orange is pretty, but I have not used this too, so I can't really give you guys a full-on impression of how they perform. This one is sugar coated. Love the effect of it. It does look like a sugar donut. Oh, it's making me want to eat donuts. So squishy, so squishy. Ooh, this one has a matte shade in it. Yeah, this one definitely has a matte shade in it. That one's pretty. God, this is a pretty one. I'm gonna zoom in so you guys. That is definitely a really pretty palette. That silver is stunning. That white as well is pretty. These two shades are like matte shades. These ones are shimmer. But yeah, I really do like the color story of this one. Very unique. So the ones in the ring version are the formula that I've tried before. I've actually used the yellow, the reds. I've used them in looks before, but I've gifted those to my sister. So, oh no, actually I've got the red here, so I must have gifted the yellow and maybe the pink to my sister. But I do enjoy the formula. As you can see, it's used, it's loved. That blue's been destroyed. Yeah, I will swatch this one for you guys because it has been used, just so that you can see exactly what the formula is like. You can see how pretty it comes off on my hand quite easily. Oh, look at that. So definitely you can see that the pigment is there, color payoff is there, and it's a cute little palette to kind of create easy looks with. Like, it's not the type of palette that you have to think loads before you come up with a look idea, and sometimes you kind of need that. If you just want to throw something together, these palettes are super cute and quick to do like themed colored looks. And this one is the Blueberry Crush palette. The red one is called Strawberry Sprinkles, and this is what it looks like. So pretty. Love the color story. Again, very easy to just throw on a look. These two shades are matte shades and the three are shimmer shades. And this one is the Mint Chocolate Chip Donut. 10 guesses what the color story is. Green. Green. And guys, I had way more of these little ones, so you could clearly see I do give a lot of makeup away, and I do a lot of giveaways and stuff on Instagram. So definitely make sure that you're following me, because I am very generous with makeup. So yeah, make sure you're following me. So this color story is all shimmer, all shimmer, all shimmer. Beautiful still, but all shimmer. I love that green. And then Revolution were kind enough to send over the donut tray palette donut, and oh guys, like, this feels like a Krispy Kreme palette come true. It is just yummy to look at, like, honestly. But yeah, I'm gonna take them out and show you guys. So in the tray there are only 2 eyeshadow palettes, so just to keep it fair, I'm only going to show you the 2 eyeshadow palettes. But there is a highlighter, there's a blush, there is a bronzer, and there is a makeup sponge as well. So this one is the Peanut Butter and Jelly. I love the color, and this is the color story. You've got that beautiful shade that looks like a shimmer, looks like it's got shimmer specks in it. You've got 1, 2, I want to say maybe 2 satin mattes, but the rest are like shimmers. Like that one definitely has shimmer particles in it. Super pretty. And the second one is the Chocolate Caramel palette. Again, it's got shimmer specks in it. This one actually does have a full matte shade, and that's a satin matte. That's a satin matte, but it is a very pretty color story. Right, we're down to the last roll. So these are the I Heart Revolution Heartbreakers palette. I featured this on my Instagram. I actually asked you guys to vote on which of the palettes you wanted me to do looks with. So I've got looks up on my Instagram, and I'll tell you guys which ones I have on my Instagram. This one I haven't used, and this one wasn't voted for, but I do have a picture up if you guys want to see it in better detail. And this one is in Daydream, and it's the blue color story. So you've got like bluish green color story in it. Very pretty. They're cute little palettes, super pigmented. This one is called Courage, and again, so pretty. I love the mix of that mustard yellow in there. This one is called Sweetheart, Again, very pretty pink. This is the kind of pink I can wear. It's very subtle, not too in your face, and it's great for, like, you know, date night, romantic evening, or even as day wear. This one I have a look up on my Instagram, and this one is the Mystical Palette, and it's a very, very pretty, like a purple themed palette. That color is so pretty and very pigmented, so definitely check out that look, guys. This one is the Lucky palette, and I have a look, obviously it's a green palette. I have a look up using this palette as well. The colors, the makeup I was able to pull out using this palette was just absolutely stunning. It kind of reminds me of the Emerald Obsession by Huda Beauty. Actually, I'm gonna grab that and see if it's a good comparison. You see, this is one of the good things about doing an eyeshadow palette collection. You can see similarities in palettes. So you've got that shade which kind of matches that one matches that one. You've got that shade which kind of matches that one, but that's more of a it's more satin matte than full matte. You've got that shade which kind of matches that one, but that one's a shimmer and that one's a matte. So there are similarities. They're not dead on dupe. It's not a dead on dupe, but there are definitely similarities in both palettes, and they would complement each other quite nicely, especially the ones that are matte versions of the shimmer colors, but like that one and that one dead on, or that one and that one. So yeah, definitely see similarities. And the last one is the Majestic Palette. I also have this one up on my Instagram. I do have a look using this. It's a beautiful everyday palette. Very easy, everyday palette, easy to use. That color is a beautiful transition color. That color is a stunning olive lid shade. That one's great for inner highlight. Yeah, it's just an all-round beautiful palette. And then I've also got this cute little Toy Factory shadow palette from Regeneration. So this cute teddy bear actually should just sit on my vanity because it's so cute. This cute little teddy bear has 19 eyeshadows in it. 19 eyeshadows. It's like, it's just a maximum payoff, isn't it? I'm just gonna hide the mirror a little bit, not to blind you guys. But look at that. That is the cutest thing ever. It just reminds me of like paint by numbers type of thing. Yeah, it's stunning. Haven't used it, but it is really, really cute. I might actually gift this to my niece. I'm not too sure, but it is super pretty, isn't it? And I love the colors up here as well. And I love the fact that it comes with a mirror. It is very cute. The next few are my Regeneration palettes. Are you ready for some cuteness overload? So this one is the Regeneration gingerbread palette. Really love the whole, you know, chocolate type of theme that these palettes have. And this is what it looks like. This one came in a Valentine's Day kind of collection, so that's why I don't have the packages for it, because it came in that package, but you can buy them individually. So this is the color story of this one. I haven't used these shades yet, but I do have plans for this. The colors are absolutely stunning. I love the names. They're just so yummy, and it does have a really, really nice subtle smell. Love it. This one is the Toffee Apple palette. This one also came in that Valentine's Day thing, but no, this is a face palette, so let's move it to the side. We're not doing face palettes today. This one is the eyeshadow palette. Yes, so this one is the Honey palette. Again, I haven't used this, but it is very, very pretty. Love the subtle colors. This is an all shimmer palette. Like, there is no matte in this palette, so very nice. It's like shimmer and satin matte type of finish, but there is no like dry matte in this palette. Apologies if you guys see my face, like I haven't got no makeup on. and I've got my bonnet on because my hair needs a wash. So that's me in quarantine. What's your state at the moment? Oh, this one's super cute. This is the hot dog palette. Yes, I remember when they released this on their Instagram, and it was just a moment. They're just the cutest, aren't they? I Heart Revolution have the cutest little palettes, and oh, the color story of this one is joy. I love the warm shades. This is the black girl's dream. This is stunning. Absolutely love this. I haven't used it, but looking at it is just making me want to paint my face. And then this one is one of the cutest palettes that I Heart Revolution have ever released, in my opinion, and it is the Poochies, the Revolution Poochies. And they actually had dogs on set that look like these dogs, so I'm pretty sure that this palette was made for those dogs. But it's the cutest thing ever, and it really wanted me to, it really made me feel like getting a puppy. Yeah, very, very cute. It's actually got some information about the different dogs. It says meet the Poochies. Biscuit loves chasing beastly squirrels, fine dining, and his girlfriend Lala. Coco loves to chew socks, woof a lot, and cuddles with Team Revolution. Oh, Bruno loves taking a dip in ponds and puddles, having lions and pizza night. Oh, Blondie loves eating, running around Hampstead Heath, and snuggles in bed with her humans. Oh my god, that is so cute. But yeah, the color story is beautiful. You've got great balance of matte and shimmer shades. Again, I haven't used this palette, but I don't know if I could bring myself to use this palette because it's just so adorable. I might use this one and just buy another just to keep in my collection, because honestly it's one of the cutest palettes I have in my entire collection. It's just totes adorable. So this one is the popcorn palette, and I do have a look up on my Instagram using this. And again, I really love the release behind it. There were loads of people eating popcorns. We had some flat lay with popcorn. It was just really, really cute. I love the color story of this. You've got gorgeous lilac and purple shades mixed in with some greens. They look really jewel tone and super pretty. Realize I haven't swatched any of these palettes, so let's swatch this one so you guys can actually see what I am talking about in terms of pigment. So that's the lilac matte shade, shimmer, shimmer, shimmer shades. So they do have like a jewel tone type of look to them. And the matte shades are easy to blend. They're super wearable, very versatile as well. You've got your all essential transition shade there as well. So this one is the coffee palette, and it's super cute, isn't it? Like, I love the caramel type of packaging that runs across, and I love the little coffee cup with the marshmallows sticking out. The color story is very pretty. You've got loads of warm shades. I love the name. You've got mocha, macchiato, bean, caffeine, americano, iced. Really love the color story. Really love how subtle and soft it is. So that's that one. The next one is the chocolate cherry palette, and I know I've used this. Can't remember if it's on Instagram or on YouTube, but this is a very pretty, very fun, girly palette. I know they released some lip products as well alongside this release, I believe. It's kind of difficult to keep track of Revolution because they're so innovative and they come up with so many beautiful palettes, so many beautiful themes. But I absolutely love this one. I love the color story. I have used this. I will swatch some shades. I've used this and I definitely remember that I enjoyed this palette. So it's just pretty soft. Yeah, just a really soft palette. We're almost there, guys. So this one is the Tasty Pizza palette. This one definitely I know I used on my Instagram because I really like the color story. I actually did swatches of this as well. The colors are really interesting. You've got more shimmers than mattes. You do have a couple of matte shades sporadically spread in the palette, but the shimmer shades are just the heroes of this palette. It is a very pretty palette. I did enjoy using it. Neapolitan is a very stunning metallic silver shade, and this one, Extra Cheese, is so pretty as well. Oh, like they swatch easily. They swatch like a dream, so definitely enjoy this one. The next one is the Slime palette. Love the packaging. Love the neon green packaging of it. Ooh. The colors are really pretty. Super pigmented looking. Love the color story. Love this yellow, radioactive. You've got jelly. Toxic is really pretty as well. It looks like predominantly matte and satin matte shades, and then you've got a few shimmer shades just running across the top of the palette. But the palette itself, the color story is very strong and very pretty. Love the names as well. This one is the Sprinkles palette, and this is what it looks like. White with sprinkles just drawn on the packaging. This one definitely looks like ice cream and frosting and sprinkles. Very cute, very minty looking. Love the shade names as well. I haven't used this palette, so I'm not too sure what it performs like, but if it's like every other I Heart Revolution palette, then it must be pigmented. Love the color story. You definitely will want to use this in collaboration with other palettes. The shades look more like satin mattes mixed in with shimmer shades, but it is a very cute themed palette. This one is the Cinnamon palette, and this is what it looks like. And yeah, this one looks all matte. It looks like an all matte palette. Very beautiful, very strong color story. Love the yellow. Haven't used this one either. Oh my god, and it does smell like cinnamon. Which is nice, but not too overpowering. So quite excited to use this one. Getting down to the last few. This one is one of my oldest I Heart Revolution palettes that I still own. This one is the Chocolate Orange palette, and I remember when I purchased this, I was super excited to really get into it. This quickly became my everyday eyeshadow palette, and the colors speak for itself. Like, those neutral shades are perfect for everyday wear. You've got those shimmer shades that are just easy go. I remember this was compared to the Too Faced chocolate palette, I think, but I mean, to me it was just a really easy everyday wear, and I still should bring this out because the colors are very pretty and they still swatch quite nicely. So if you are looking for an everyday palette as well, this one is a good palette. I did enjoy using this, and I did use it for quite a long time. Speaking of older I Heart makeup palettes that I have, you can even see the packaging of this one. Completely different from what they release now, and this one is a 24 karat gold palette, and I remember when this came out, it was comparable to the Too Faced chocolate gold bar, I can't remember what it's called, palette, but again, perfect everyday palette. I use this as well, use it every day. I used to use the colors as my everyday work look. That black just made this palette even more enjoyable. Those two palettes were my like go-to everyday palettes. It's when I used to work in retail and it was just quickly, you have only a small amount of time in bed and then you have to hurry up. That's when I used to live in London and commute was just insane, so I needed something that was quick and on the go. This one is the I Heart Nudes mini eyeshadow palette. Love how cute the packaging is, like, oh, so cute. And this is what it looks like inside. Tell me this isn't a perfect on the go type of eyeshadow palette. You can quickly put together, I can think of at least 3 looks right now just looking at the palette. So great weekend palette, very cute, very portable eyeshadow palette. And then the last, God, I can't believe we are at the last eyeshadow palette. The last one is the Rocky Road palette, and this is what it looks like inside. And this one's a bit more exciting. You've got that green shade, you've still got your wearable day shades. Kind of reminds me of a really nice bridal, like wedding guest is what I want to say, wedding guest kind of look. So nice and compact as well. So that's all the eyeshadows. Let me pop them all back. As at the second video we were at 180 eyeshadows, so I'm going to pop them back and I'm going to count how many we have so that we can round up this video. Oh God, did anyone guess right? Like literally, I'm going to give you guys a few seconds to guess how many eyeshadow palettes we have in total. Well, you'd have seen the caption anyway, but so we have 251 eyeshadows in total, and this is aside from the eyeshadows I have decluttered, eyeshadows have gone bad and I've taken out of my collection. We have 251 eyeshadow palettes. Wow. If you're still here, thank you so much. If you haven't watched part 1 and part 2, definitely check them out. They will be linked in the description box below. I really want to know how many eyeshadow palettes you guys have in your collection. Definitely comment down below. Let me feel a little bit better that I'm not on my own with this. But as I said in part 1, eyeshadows and lipsticks are my kryptonite. I absolutely love them. I collect them. I enjoy them. I enjoy looking at them. I enjoy swatching them. I enjoy using them. So that's why they are the biggest part of my collection. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you really did enjoy it. Let me know if you guys want any specific looks or reviews on any of the palettes that I've shown in part 1, 2 and 3. Let me know if you want me to carry on with the series, and if so, which makeup product should I move on to. The lips, is it highlighters, bronzers, whatever the case may be. And I will catch you guys in a future video. Remember, God doesn't like ugly, so be nice to someone today, and please don't comment any hateful things in the comment box because God doesn't like ugly. Anyway, I'll catch you guys in a future one. Bye.